Got a question over here.
Hi, Steve. My name's Ed. My question is sort of about risks, but also about experiences. So you talked about before, sort of big companies, small companies. What if someone takes a big risk? They do a startup. It doesn't turn out very well, but it wasn't because they weren't smart about things. They did their best. How does that par up compared to sort of going the safe route? And have you got any sort of tips on, like, obviously you took some risks yourself. What would you sort of say about that?
Yeah, you're talking about like in a career planning type sense. What are you saying?
Oh, so saying if I take the risk, I go for a startup and I turn down some really good job offers I've got at the moment. Later on, is that going to come and bite me if the startup doesn't go well, or will the experience from the startup still help me get there in the long run, even though it wasn't successful?
Valuable experience is valuable experience. There's nothing actually, I would say, startup experience is neither more valuable nor less valuable than people want to say, well, startup experience is more valuable or big company. Hey, if you've dug into something, I don't care if it was at a small company or large company, the key, at least to me, isn't where you were. It's did you dig in? Did you work your butt off? Did you perspire? Did you force your brain to really think and have peripheral vision? When I ask somebody to tell me about what they did, I don't care where they did it. I want to know, did their brain fan out? Or were they just looking at a narrow little piece? Or were they really thinking broadly? Did they think comprehensively? Could they be concrete about what they did and what they accomplished? If things didn't work, can they be honest and direct? Big company or small company? This didn't work. That didn't work. So that'd be the kind of thing that, is important to me, and I hope to the folks who work for us who are evaluating and looking at people. Certainly, I think in most people's lives, it's usually interesting to have some experience in bigger environments and smaller environments. You learn differently from both of them. As I said earlier, I got my big and little all in the same place, which is unusual. But at the end of the day, what I tell you most is to just dig in and love what you're doing. And I think if you love what you're doing and you work really hard at it and you really embrace it, heart, body, and soul, I'm not sure it matters too much. I think the biggest mistake most people make when they pick their first job is they don't worry enough about whether they'll love the work. And they worry more about whether it's good experience. There is a time in your life, generally when you might pick a school because it's good for you, and you might pick a second school because it's good for you, but by the time you're picking jobs, I really think you got to pick a job because you really think you're going to love doing the work that you're doing, and it's a mistake not to.
Great. We have a question.